Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of #winning. Uriel Kane here, CEO and founder of Healthpreneur. Today I want to share with you some of the traits of my millionaire clients. So over the past, I'd say close to a decade now, I would say I've helped, that I can think of, probably 25 entrepreneurs reach 7 and 8 figures in their businesses, which I think is pretty cool because a lot of them come to me at a really young novice stage in their business. And I don't take responsibility and claim that their results are 100% because of me. Like, it's not because of that. I give them some guidance and give them some clarity and some systems and whatever. But they are fundamentally winners, which is what I want to share with you in this video. And that's why they built these businesses. Some of our clients, the clients that I've worked with over the years, one has a family of 5. So she's a mom of 5 and she has a $120 million business. Another one has a family of 4, does $5 million per month. You know what? Now that I'm thinking about this, some of our most successful clients have a lot of kids. So there's a tip. Anyways, what I want to share with you here is helping you understand, again, and the purpose of this series called #winning is really helping you understand that winning is an internal game all the time. It's not like this knight in shining armor is going to come save the day for you. It's never going to happen. It's you have to fundamentally become a better version of you to achieve bigger things in life. And so for me, it's so fun to work with people that I see these traits in because I'm almost like a talent scout. I'm like, right away, I know this person's going to crush it. And when someone, by contrast, comes in with a lot of self-doubt, lack of self-belief, worrying about what are others doing, I'm going to see what I can do. I'm like, you're toast. Like, you haven't even begun the race and you've already lost because of that mentality. So my hope here is that you're able to take these mindsets and these character traits and really start to embody them. Because if you do this, the success becomes as predictable as baking a chocolate cake. You need the right ingredients in order to make a chocolate cake, right? And then obviously the recipe to make it happen. But if you're like, I really want a chocolate cake and you fundamentally don't have flour, you're not making a chocolate cake, right? So think of these traits as the ingredients required to achieve the quote unquote chocolate cake in your life, which is the degree of success and fulfillment and impact, freedom that it is you want. Cool. So the first one that I want to talk about is an insatiable drive, a drive that a lot of people don't understand. Why do you want so much? Why do you want to make so much money? Why do you want to grow this thing so big, or whatever the thing is? And that's fundamentally okay. Most people are not going to understand you because if they did, there would be more people at this level of life, but there aren't. So I believe drive is one of the most important determinants of how far you will go in life, because if you don't have goals, then you can't score. It's that simple. And the bigger your goals are, the more energy you have to move in that direction. I've shared this before in some of my other videos. Think of a goal or a drive or vision as an intention. You're here and you want to go here, or like way over there. Elon Musk, let's go to Mars, right? That's an intention. The bigger the intention is, the more energetic pull there is to make that a reality. So if you think of an elastic band, right? If you pull an elastic band, what happens with that elastic band? It actually becomes more useful the more it's stretched. An elastic band is very similar to a human being. We're actually pretty useless without powerful intentions. What happens when we retire? Most people go fucking crazy. Like, they're just like, I've got no meaning and purpose in my life. I'm going to sit in a lawn chair and do crossword puzzles. Now, I know that's a gross overstatement because there are many people who enjoy their retirement and do great things. But for the most part, and statistically, we know when people stop working and stop having purpose, their health goes down the drain and their will to live goes down the drain as well. So when you have this intention, it's like a rubber band that's being pulled. The bigger the pull, the more tension there is. The word intention, tension. So if you set a small goal, there's very little tension there. There's very little energy behind that. But the most successful people that I've worked with set big goals that other people are like, how are you going to do that? You're crazy. You should probably be a little more realistic. And they're like, no, I'm not going to be realistic because that's what most people do. And I don't want to live like most people. And so they set these really big objectives and these intentions, and it stretches them. And because it stretches them, it pulls them forward. They're never finished. And this is something I've talked with my wife about. I've told many people in my life, I'm like, the work is never done. There's always going to be problems. Like, so do you have anything to do today? The answer is always yes. I work 7 days a week. I mean, first thing in the morning, I don't work all day Saturday, Sunday, but I work usually 1 or 2 hours on the weekends because I love it and because I have big ambitions. Now, On the flip side of that, I can be very, very lazy as well. And I have talked about this. Like I can literally lay on the couch and watch soccer all day long. Okay. So that's kind of like the flip side for me personally. But in those who've achieved big things financially, and when I say financially, please also remember, like disclaimer, revenue, money is the outcome of helping people. If you have an issue with making a lot of money, you got to check yourself, yo. What am I, a rapper? Check yourself, yo. No, you have to check yourself, because the reality is if you're not making enough money, you're simply not helping enough people. And if you say you want to help people, you're not helping people. That's as simple as it is. And this took me a while to recognize. Way back in the day, I used to hate sales. And I remember being very awkward talking with prospective clients. This is even when I was a personal trainer. I didn't really feel comfortable asking them to invest $1,000 in a coaching relationship with them or whatever it was. And I was like, I thought that I was taking something from them. But the reality is like I was giving them so much more in return. And that small mindset kept me playing so small for so long. And it fucking plagues so many people. I just want to help people. You're not doing anything. You're making $2,000 a month. You're not helping anyone. And if you think 2 clients is like an impact, just redefine what you think is important, because it's not helping people. Maybe it's like hanging out with your family. That's the most important thing, which by the way, is my second most important thing. My most important thing is my health. Second is my family. Third is my business. Okay. But there's a lot of like really weird thinking and just like frameworks we have mentally where it's like, I don't want to work too hard or build a big business because then I'm not gonna have enough time for myself or my family. That's flawed thinking because you don't know how to do it. Like, do you really think there aren't people out there who have large families, and just name 2 of my clients, who are making an obscene amount of money, helping way more people than most people, and who still have a great family life? The answer is yes. Now, the answer to that is also no, because I'm not going to sit here and say everyone who makes money has a great relationship and they're good with their families and their kids and they're in good health. Because quite honestly, most people are not. They compromise their health in the pursuit of wealth, and then they use their wealth to fix their health. I'm not suggesting that at all. But what I am saying is that if you believe that making more money is going to come at the expense of your own personal health or at the expense of the relationships you have with your family, that's flawed thinking based on faulty business models that have you grinding away to a pulp. So yeah, if you're going to live on your phone and send DMs 1,000,000 times a day, 100% that's going to burn you out and you're not going to see your family. You're not going to be present with them. But if you have a different type of business model that doesn't require you to do all that stuff, then it's 100% possible. So drive. Setting big goals, these big intentions is the biggest thing I see. Because the thing is like, and I've noticed this with like not just my clients, but like successful people in general, soccer coaches. I have a lot of references obviously from soccer because I played, for so many years. And I think we can learn a lot from high performing athletes. They never settle. They never peak. They get to the peak of one mountain and they're like, what's next? And again, like, average people think to themselves, isn't that enough? Isn't that good enough? And it's like, for you, it's good enough, but for me, it's never enough. And if you don't have that drive, you will just get to a point in life and coast. And I don't know about you, but I'm assuming you're watching this because you want more out of life. You want more out of yourself. I believe that we are high performers. We're high achievers. Now, there are downsides to that, right? But there are major upsides to that as well. And as long as you're aware of both, I think you can kind of navigate that journey a lot more effectively. And I'll share some of the stuff, what I mean about that in a moment. But it's very hard to achieve big things if you have a vision for small things. When I say things, I don't mean like toys and consumables. I mean like just the goals of like helping people or revenue or, changing the world in some way, shape or form. So that drive is the first thing. Like there's just like this insatiable drive, and where that comes from, I don't really care. I don't care if you're trying to prove yourself to your dad or to naysayers or whatever else. It's a much better way of channeling that than resorting to drinking all day long. Okay. So I don't care where it comes from. All I know is that it's there and it drives them forward to do very, very big things. So that's the first thing. Second thing, a level of confidence in themselves that is undeniable. And even before they've achieved what it is that they want to achieve, like they just know in their being that everything they want is going to happen. Now, there are moments where there's a lot of doubt, sleepless nights. I mean, I woke up at 3:55 this morning because I kind of got spooked out of my sleep with something in my head. That's what happens, right? Now, that's part of the journey of building something great is you're put into these situations that they're high stakes, they're higher pressure, and not everyone can handle that. But as Billie Jean King once said, pressure is a privilege. And I think pressure can break you. Pressure can also make you. And if you can't handle pressure, just understand that I believe it's a muscle that can be trained. Pressure becomes a lot easier to deal with when you've got confidence in yourself, because pressure comes from this sense of, well, there's a couple different ways pressure can come about, but part of it could be like, I have this big, hairy, audacious goal, and I don't know how it's going to happen. I've committed myself to various things, and I feel the weight of this pressure on me. Now, some people can literally crumple under that. The successful clients that I've worked with, the ones who built multiple $1 million businesses in the service of others, they look at that pressure and they're like, got it. I understand that's right there. I'm going to use that to drive me forward to figure this shit out because I believe in myself. And now I kind of have to as well, because I've put myself in this situation. I've committed to it, but they would not have committed in the first place if they didn't believe in themselves. And there are many, many times where you can hear people talk. You can hear, like, I pick up on how in 2 minutes, I will know whether someone can achieve big success in their business or not. Just based on the words, whether it's, talking to them or DMing them or whatever it is, in literally 2 minutes, I can see everything I need to see to literally foreshadow where this person is going to be. And I know that sounds like well, how are you supposed to really know that? The thing is, when you've worked with so many people and when you've interacted with so many humans, talking like tens of thousands now, you pick up on patterns. You pick up on patterns and you see how people's body language is. You see how they talk. And winners talk in a very different way than those who struggle in life, right? Winners are always thinking about, this is what I want. I know I can make it happen, even though I can't see everything in front of me. So they have this level of self-belief, and how this shows up metaphorically speaking, it's like they're driving in a car. And how do you drive in fog? So if we look at driving in fog as an analogy for what holds most people back, is you have two cars, okay? So car A is average person, and car B is high achiever like us. So car A, average person sitting in there, and there's fog. And they're looking ahead and they're like, I can't see 100 feet in front of me. I'm not going to drive forward because I'm afraid. I don't have clarity. It's dangerous. Okay? That's how 90% of the world operates. Us high achievers sitting in car B, we're like, cool, I can't see in front of me more than a couple feet. I know what I want is on the other side of that fog. I just can't see it, and I don't know what it's going to look like on the journey. But I do believe that I will figure it out as I go. So what do? We put our foot on the gas pedal. Gently. We're not going crazy right off the bat, right? Gently, we ease into it. And the way we drive through fog is how you drive through fog. Is you drive 10 feet and you see 10 more feet in front of you. You keep driving 10 more feet and you see 10 more feet in front of you. So while person average A over here is sitting in their car, waiting for the fog to clear and everything to be perfect so they can finally get started, meanwhile something else comes up and distracts them, we are plowing forward by taking action, building momentum, moving 10 steps at a time, seeing 10 more feet in front of us, pushing down on the gas pedal, building our confidence, and moving forward. And this, hopefully that analogy makes sense for you, because I do think it's one of the most fundamental differences between those who succeed, and not just financially, but in life. I'm just amazed at how many people allow fear to hold them back. It's really, really sad. And I've mentioned this before in some of my sales training videos. If the pain of your current situation isn't big enough, you're never going to change. Never. Because the pain of change is greater. So in the analogy of driving the car through fog, you have person A who's sitting in the car. They're like, oh, I really want to go to the destination, but I'm afraid. What if I can't see? What if I hit a brick wall? What if I hit a pothole? What if? Meanwhile, we in car B, we're like, yeah, we want the same thing. We actually want even bigger things. We have no fucking clarity about what it's going to look like, but I believe that I'm a good driver and I will figure this out, especially if I have someone in the passenger seat, i.e. like a mentor or coach, who can show me the way or give me a little bit more confidence as I'm going through this. But nonetheless, with or without this person, I know I will find and figure out a way. And that's the difference. Because for us, for high achievers, our current situation is never good enough. And we can't settle. We can't sit on our laurels. We can't be like, life's good. I'm just going to chill and sip margaritas all day. No, there's a level of restlessness that we get where things are good. We've climbed the mountain, but there's only one way down. There's only one way down the mountain, and that's down. And the only way to get around that is to look at the next mountain and go there. And again, a lot of people don't understand this. They're like, when is enough enough? It's never enough. If you're a growth-oriented individual, like you and I are, who aspire to do big things, it's never enough. And it's okay. It's okay. Because when you don't have what you want, then you always are moving forward. And there's this balance of appreciating and being grateful for what you have, because you have to feel that, but never being satisfied with where you are. Because when you hit that status quo, everything's good, everything's okay, that's a very dangerous place to live. Very dangerous place. I would rather you live on a box on the sidewalk than live an average life. If you are doing okay in life, you should be very uncomfortable with that, because that's the death zone. That's the death zone. That's where your soul goes to die. That's where your dreams go to die. That's where most people live their whole life, and then they move on to the next life or whatever. And that was it. There was nothing. There's no contribution. There was no impact. There was no growth, because life was okay. They got a decent pay. They put food on the table. They sent their kids to school. They showed up. They checked in, checked out, and they're done. That's a nightmare for us, for me, for people like you and I, high achievers who want to do big things in life. And please remember that not everyone understands this mindset. And that's why I've created this show, this series, is because there are so many people who want to do big things in life, but sadly, not everyone in your life understands that. My mom, like, why do you need 2 McLarens? My answer is because I want 2 McLarens. Why do you need a 17,000 square foot house on the Pacific coast of Mexico? Because I want 17,000 square feet. Cool. I want a gym. I want an office. I want 6 bedrooms. I want this. I want this. I want this. What's wrong with that? When you listen to people who play small, they bring you down. And again, they're not coming from a place of, a lot of us are family members, right? Like they want to keep us safe and whatever. They don't want to see us struggle. I want you to struggle. I want you to go through hardships. I want you to sleep at night, because that's how you get stronger. You don't get stronger by living in comfort. Comfort is like, it's like a drug. The more comfort you have, the more you want of it. It's a very dangerous feeling, because unlike comfort, discomfort doesn't feel good. But everything you want in life, and we know this, right? This isn't rocket science. We know that everything you want in life is outside your comfort zone, outside your comfort zone. So if you think of on a daily basis, if you are not doing things that make you uncomfortable, you are not growing. And if you have that level of self-belief, it helps, because what's outside your comfort zone is unknown territory, unknown. And if you don't believe in yourself, that's where all of this starts. If you don't believe in yourself, this idea that like, I don't know what it looks like, but I think I can figure this out. I don't know what this looks like, but I'm sure I can get some guidance. And I know that internally I can move forward. If you don't have that, you will always get to the edge of your comfort zone. And right when you feel that, oh my God, you will come right back down inside your little shell, and you stay small. And that's not who this is for. That's not who this video, who this episode, this series is for. It's called #winning for a reason. And if you're watching this and all the other episodes I'm going to be creating here, then you're a winner. You're a winner. Now, whether the results in your life show that at the moment, maybe or may not be the case. But as I've talked about before, winning is an internal game. You go to bed at the end of the day, you look in the mirror when you brush your teeth, and you know if you're a winner. You know if you've shown up. You know if you've given your best. You know if you've played small. You know if you've had those hard conversations. You know if you've done something to challenge yourself. No one else does. You do. And although the scoreboard right now may not be what you want it to be, you keep doing those things, eventually the score changes in your favor. But it doesn't happen overnight. But winners understand this. And that's why they set these big intentions and they have the confidence to go after it. Okay, so that's the second trait. The third trait of the most successful clients that I've worked with, and again, insert the most successful people in any aspect of life, is courage. Courage. And it's a weird thing because a lot of people want confidence, right? A lot of people want confidence. And confidence feels good. Courage doesn't. But here's the thing, is that it's very hard to build confidence without going through courage. When you embark on something, when you set an intention, so let's just use the setting a big goal as an example. There's a few things that happen. So number one is you set the intention, you set a big goal. Again, most people don't do that in the first place. They don't even know what they want. So they just kind of like coast along with the current. You and I, we're different. We set big goals. The second thing is we probably have a degree of self-belief, right? But we might be embarking on new territory because if you set a big goal, the assumption is you haven't been there before. So you can't actually be confident 100% in that area. So you use reference points from the past. Where else have I succeeded in the past? I did this, this worked out pretty well. You've had a lot of failures in life too. That's all learning. But where a lot of people get stuck is they focus on the failures instead of the wins and the learnings. And so instead of building their confidence and self-esteem, it gets crushed. So you embark on this new journey or this bigger journey, and you've never been where you want to go. So there's an aspect of, I don't really know if I can make this happen. I don't really know what it's going to look like, but I know that I just believe in myself that I'm going to figure it out. And this is where we have that initial commitment. Nothing happens without a decision. So we make, number one, we set an intention. Number two is we commit to it. We say, fuck it, go. Burn the bridges, let's go. And when you dive into the pool, you learn how to swim pretty darn quick, because if you don't, you're dead. And this is a situation a lot of people can't handle, is what if it doesn't work out? Well, here's the thing. When you commit, there's no choice. You're in and you make it work out. That's why I say winners always find a way to win. Swimmers always find a way to swim, right? Whatever rhyme you want to use. When you commit, you're in. There's no and, ifs, or buts. There's no, well, it's not convenient today, so I think I'm just going to back out. No, you're in. You're in. You're in. You're in. You're in. And where a lot of people fail to begin with is they can't even make the commitment because they're scared of it not working out. They're scared of it being uncomfortable. They're scared of putting themselves in a situation. I put myself in a lot of situations in life. I put a lot of pressure on myself. I like that. I like the pressure. I thrive under pressure. I'm not saying everyone has to do that, but you do have to put pressure on yourself at some level. And it doesn't have to be like the weight of the world on your shoulders, although it might feel like that. And if it does feel like that, just remember, you're a speck of dust. We're both specks of dust in a massive universe. None of this means anything. It's all a game. Who cares? Who cares if you can't pay your bills 1 month? Oh my God. Oh my God. I'm going to have $1,000 on my credit card. I don't know if I could live with that. Fuck it. Who gives a shit? It's all a game. You'll be fine. You'll be fine. Stop thinking so small. So you commit. You have to commit first. You make the decision, not la-di-da. Maybe I'll think about it for a while and like when it's raining outside right now, maybe when it's sunny, I'll get started because that'll be a better time. No, that's loser talk. We are winners. That's what this is about. No excuses, no stories, no bullshit. Okay? Stories are awesome. Keep them in the library. You have the opportunity here to write your own story. Okay? So you commit first. The second piece of this now is you have to use courage, because courage is like, I don't know what I'm about to do. Like, this doesn't feel good. It's not supposed to feel good. When you understand it's not supposed to feel good, you will actually have a lot more of an easy time moving forward. First time you work out, it sucks. Soreness, you feel weak, out of shape, etc. It's not supposed to feel good. That's called courage. The difference between confidence and courage is confidence feels great because you've done it before. Courage doesn't. You're moving into uncharted territory. You have no idea. It's okay. Understand it and embrace it. If it doesn't feel good, it means you're using courage. If it doesn't feel good, it means you're growing. And if you're growing, guess what? You're progressing forward. And that's how winners think about this stuff. Because if you're looking for everything to feel good and comfortable all the time, please don't tell me you want to do big things. Because you would rather be comfortable. That's the reality. And that's how most people want to live. We're not here to be comfortable. We're here to do big things. Nothing happens without courage. You can't go from, I'm going to commit to this, getting picked up metaphorically by a helicopter, and then get into confidence. You have to go through courage. You have to cross the bridge. There's no and, ifs, or buts. The more you use courage, the more you kind of go through this journey, the more you develop your skills, your competence, your capabilities. And then over time, you become confident in that area. Now, remember that confidence is very situational. So although I have confidence in achieving certain things in business, I'm also not a great dancer. So am I going to be confident on the dance floor? Probably not. I'm a very, very good soccer player. You put me on a soccer pitch, I don't care who I'm up against. I'm going to do well. You put me on a basketball court, I'm running away. I can't stand basketball because I suck at it. So understand that confidence is very situational, and whatever you are looking to get better at, you're going to suck at initially, right? Every master was once a disaster. So the key is like, do I really want this? That's where the commitment starts. It's like, is this a 10 out of 10 must? Is this intention that I have, this goal that I want, is it that important? Because if it's not that important to you, don't even start. And I'm serious about this. The reason that I have not achieved some of the goals in my life is because I simply didn't want them badly enough. And if you have set a goal for yourself at some point in your life and you're not there yet, you just don't want it badly enough. It's a 7 out of 10, it's 8 out of 10, it's not a 10 out of 10. So I'll give you an example. I'll give you an analogy here. So let's say we're standing at the Grand Canyon and we're at the edge of a cliff and there's this really raggedy wooden bridge from this side over to that side. I don't know about you, but I don't like heights. I love being on a plane, but I don't like heights. So we're here. We're not really where we want to be, right? We're like, I want to really improve my situation. I've set this big intention, which in this example is on the other side of the canyon. It's over there, but we have to cross the bridge to get there. We're unhappy right now in terms of our current situation. We want to improve it. Everything is on the other side. The only way to get to the other side is by crossing the bridge. So step number 1 is we make a commitment, is go. Just walk forward, go. I'm going to do it. That's it. I'm going for it. Now, courage is walking across that bridge, holding onto the friggin' ropes, like the thing is shaking and you're like 1,000 feet off the ground and you're like, oh my God. But you know that if you keep going, everything you want is on the other side of that bridge. But here's the thing, is that most people stand on this side of the bridge and they look across and they're like, fuck no, it's too scary. Okay. Let's add a little twist to this scenario. You got kids and your kids are in the other side of the bridge. They're about to be abducted, assaulted, killed, whatever. Just imagine the worst possible scenario happening to your kids. And they're on the other side of the canyon and that's about to go down. How do you respond now? Are you going to let your fucking fear get in the way? Or are you going to run across the bridge to make it happen? You're going to run like the friggin' roadrunner across the bridge to make it happen. What's the difference? The difference is now it's a 10 out of 10 must. That's the difference. And until you get to that point in your life, nothing's going to happen. Nothing. And that's the problem of living in the Western world, is that life is a 7 out of 10. It's okay. But no, we need to put ourselves in situations where it's not okay. Because if the pain of your current situation is not greater than the pain of change, you will never change. You will never go through the commitment and the courage to get where you want to go. But you put yourself in a situation which is really not good. When I was in Brazil playing soccer when I was 17, they used to say it was soccer or the slums. You played pro soccer or you lived in a box. That was it. There was no plan B. There was no plan C. There was no maybe I'll lean on my parents for stuff. They had to play pro soccer to take care of their parents. Talk about pressure, but pressure creates diamonds. And some of the most incredible soccer players come out of Brazil and many third world countries. And I think some of the best humans go through fucking horrible situations when they're young, when they're growing up, when they're older. I lost my hair when I was 17 years old. That's not compared to what most people go through, it's friggin' nothing. But it got me into this space of wanting to help other people because I recognized what my suffering was and how I felt. I'm like, I don't want other people to feel like that. I don't want other people to go through that. Let me do what I can for myself to kind of fix this shit. And then hopefully I can help others do the same. You've been through stuff. You've been through stuff in your life. And some people use that as this story they keep leaning on. It's like, dude, who cares? Move forward. If you have not seen the documentary on Netflix called Arnold, it's a 3-part series on Netflix, watch it. If you want to talk about a winner, watch the Arnold documentary. I think he's one, honestly, when you think of someone who embodies the mindset of winning, there's no one else that comes to mind more than Arnold. For someone to go from a tiny friggin' village in Austria to becoming 7-time Mr. Olympia, Mr. Universe, whatever, to go from where he was to that, to dominating bodybuilding, to then being like, you know what, I want to try a different thing. I want to become a movie star. Does that. You know what? I think I want to help others. I'm going to get into politics. He becomes one of the best congressmen in California's history. This is not situational. This is who he is. This is the mindset. And watch the friggin' documentary if you want to see what it takes to achieve that level of success in life. Because what I'm sharing with you here is the stuff he talks about. And I'm not saying I taught Arnold his secrets. I didn't. None of us have taught anyone anything. These are just fundamental truths that successful people have in life. And when I say successful, don't just think about the money. Like, yes, this is about what our millionaire clients have in common, but success is not just about the money. Success, a lot of money with no health, I don't think is success. I actually don't think there are many role models that I'm aware of who have a lot of money, who have a lot of impact, who have great health, and have great relationships with their family. I don't know of any that I can think of off the top of my head. And part of that is because great things require sacrifice. And I'm not saying that you can't have it all, but you might not have it all at the same time. There will be a time in your journey, and maybe that's for you, maybe that's right now, I don't know, where you just have to double down on your business. And you might have to put your workouts aside for a moment, right? Maybe you're not doing 3-hour hot yoga sessions like I used to. Before I had kids, my wife and I would do 3-hour hot yoga sessions 4 days a week. I had all the time in the world. Life is different now. I get up at 4 a.m, I get to work, I do my stuff. I still work out. I had an amazing workout this morning, by the way. Just as a little aside, had a bit of a busted rib cartilage from playing soccer with my kids. I thought it was worse. Got it kind of looked at, did some stuff to it. It's a lot better, and hit some PRs this morning. So I was doing deadlifts, doing 235. I was pretty proud of. Did overhead press, hitting some really good numbers. So total aside, but I was very happy about that. Nonetheless, I make time for things that matter to me most. But I'm saying, there are a lot of sacrifices that have to be made in the journey to achieving great things. When I was young, I wanted to play pro soccer. And from the time I was 10, that was my vision. I had, Brazil flags on the walls and the starting 11, posters all over the place. And I made what I think were, pretty sizable sacrifices at the time. Like I remember I was 14 or 15 years old. My family went to Cuba for a week. I'm like, I'm staying home. I don't want to miss a game. I had one game I was going to miss. And we got slaughtered 10-0. I was the goalie. But listen, I don't regret any of it, right? I gave up jobs, relationships, doing stupid stuff at nights, whatever. I mean, I still had my fun, but nonetheless, there were many sacrifices I made because I recognized this is what I wanted no matter what. And that's why I say that drive, it's so, so important, because if you don't want something badly enough, and that also encompasses the reasons why you want that thing, it's just so easy to stop. It's just so easy to give up when the going gets tough. When that courage muscle is required and you're like, oh man, I just don't feel like doing it. That's why it has to be a 10 out of 10. So just to kind of bring this all together. So the traits, and there's many more. We talk about drive. We talk about the self-belief. We talk about courage, right? I'd say those are kind of the 3 big ones. And there's many, many more, and I'll kind of touch on them in some future episodes. But I'd say for now, if you just think of those things, big drive, big vision, believe in yourself, and have the courage to step into the fear, because getting uncomfortable is how you grow. If you start to really embody that, no matter what it is you're doing, whether you're talking about school, sports, business, relationships, anything, you will get better. And if you keep doing it over and over again, you will be the best at what you do. You'll be the best in your area, and you'll win. But you're already a winner if you're thinking along those lines. So anyways, I hope you've enjoyed this episode. If you have, let me know your thoughts in the comments below. I got more great #winning episodes coming your way. Keep that mindset strong. Keep plowing forward towards your goals. Help a lot of people along the way, and enjoy your life.